In this video, I will share with you how to create MapView and display user's current location on the map. I'll also show you how to drop a pin at user's current location. And there are two ways how to create MapView. One way is to do it programmatically, and another way is to use a main storyboard and drag and drop MapView into your view controller, position it nicely, and that will do the job. And in this video, I'll show you both ways. And I will start with creating MapView programmatically, and I will switch to my Swift developer blog because I do have a ready-to-use code example for that. So under code examples section, I have plenty of code examples on how to use different UI components, button, text field, switch, sliders, and so on. So I'll scroll down and I will find the one that's called Core Location and MapKit. I'll click on the example which is called Drop a Pin on a map view at user's current location, and that will open a page with a complete code example that we can use to quickly create this application and determine user location. So I will copy this code and then I'll go back to my empty Xcode project. This is a new Xcode project. It doesn't have any libraries imported. So I will paste this code here. And before this code can work, even though the code is ready, it imports libraries and it implements needed functions, it won't work because we need to link MapKit framework and Core Location frameworks to our Xcode project. And this is not it. After we import this libraries, we also need to go back to my Swift developer blog and place this few XML key and value pairs into info plist. But let's do it step by step. So first I will import required libraries like MapKit and Core Location. So I will go to my project, and under targets I will select my project under targets, and then above we have different tabs. I will select capabilities, and then I'll find maps and I will turn it on. This will link MapKit framework into our project, and it will make the framework appear on the left side here. So the second library or the framework that we need to import is called Core Location. And to import this framework, I will go to my project again, select targets, but this time under tabs, I will go all the way to build phases. And I will expand linked binaries with library. Okay, and here I see MapKit framework already linked, so I'll click on plus and I will search for a Core Location framework. Here's the framework. I'll add it to my project, and now both frameworks are linked. I will go back to my view controller, but again, before I can run this example, I need to add a few more lines, and I will copy these lines and will go back to my Xcode, find info plist, which is under my projects folder. I'll select this project, and this is properties file. I will open it as source code. And at the bottom of the page, just before dictionary closes, I will place these two keys. And basically what these are for, I will quickly run you through. Okay, so one of them, before application can access user's current location, it needs to ask user a permission. And there are two ways to ask a permission. One way is to ask permission for your application to always be able to access user's location, and there will be a dialog message displayed to user with a message that you type here. So for NS location always usage description, I have phrased it this way: will you allow this app to always know maybe user's location? And the other way is to every time is to ask users permission to access their current location every time application does that. And this is the second key for that: when in usage. When in use usage, and next location when in use usage description. And I phrased it this way: do you allow this app to know your current location? So every time when application makes an attempt to detect user's location, it will prompt it for permission. So very important, without these two keys, your application will not be able to determine or access user current location. Now, going back to View Controller, I will quickly walk you through what we have here. So we've imported two libraries, and now we have a few lifecycle functions like view.load is empty, and then view will appear. Just before view will appear, I'm creating a MapView, and I organized code that creates MapView into a function, and this function is below. The code is very simple. Basically, we create MapView, and then we position MapView at the specified location, the left margin, top margin, which I specify here in float variables, and then I define map width, height. I define the standard map type, or I could use other types. If you look up, if you hit dot, there will, for example, satellite, hybrid. So I chose default, standard, and then we enable zooming for the map, and we enable scrolling for the map. And then I've also shown here that additionally, to be able to position map at specific location within the view, we could simply position it at the center by assigning center of the view to the center, placing map at the center of the view, and then we add this map view as a sub view on top of our view. Okay, and the second part is to actually determine user's current location. And for that, I created a new function, determine current location, and I call it from within view did appear, so that once map is loaded and view did appear, I start determining current location. And here we go. We declare, we create an object, location manager, which I define at the top. Here I define a location manager and map view, so I can access them from other functions. And then I assign a delegate. I'll mention it a bit later. I define a desired accuracy. I set it to best. And here we go. We request always authorization. This is when an application will prompt user with the permission, and then we will display that message that we defined inside of info plist. Would you allow this app to always know user's location? So this is very important. And if user grants permission, if location services are enabled, we will start updating application for location. And this is where the delegate comes in. For our application, or for this view controller to be able to receive messages about updates to current location, we need to make this view controller conform to a location manager delegate. So if you hold command button on your keyboard and click on this manager delegate, you can scroll down and see different functions that you can implement. And one of them is location manager did update locations. So you can copy this function, which I did, and write implementation for it here. And basically this function gets the location updates, and then it creates a coordinate with a latitude and longitude, and then it creates a region which defines the which portion of the map to display, and that uses the coordinate, and then it sets that region on the map view, and you will see that the map view zooms in into that region, and you can change this value longitude delta and longitude delta to control how close you want to see the region or how far away. And the last piece of code is annotation. Is that pin. If you want to drop a pin, you need to create an annotation, and then you set this annotation at the coordinate, which is location coordinate that accepts latitude and longitude, and then we add this annotation to our map view. And another function that also comes from this location manager delegate is called location manager did fail with error. So if something happens, if our application cannot determine user's current location, this function will be triggered and error message will be printed. So this is briefly about the source code. Let me run this application and see if it works. Okay, here we go. My application is up and running. User's location is determined, and we're zooming in into New York. And now I can simulate my location and appear somewhere else on the map. So if I open the console here and I move my simulator a little bit to the side, here we have this little location icon. So if I click on that, I can choose a different location in the world. So I can choose Sydney, Australia, and then look at my map, how it navigates to a different part of the world. And then I can choose Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and I'm taken to a different, I'm taken to Rio de Janeiro, and then I want to be in London, and then it takes me to London. Okay, and if I wanted to zoom in a little bit, I can modify this delta values. So for example, instead of 1, I'll set 0, and this will make a picture appear a little bit closer on the map. So if I run it again, here we go. So let me try Moscow, Russia. Oh, I'm sorry. It's actually zooming in further away. I'm mistaken. Anyways, you get the idea. Okay, let's go back to 1, which was a bit closer, and bring our application back. And the second example is very quick, and we will create MapView using code. Using the view controller. So what I will do here in my source code, I will comment out code that creates MapView. So now MapView will not be created, and I will comment out determines current location. I'll run my application to see that MapView is gone and no location is being determined. Yes, it's empty. So now I will go to main view controller, and then I will select view controller, open up the utilities panel here, and under attributes inspector, under objects library, I will search for MapView. I have the MapView. I will click and drag it to my view controller, position it something like this, expand it, or maybe move it all the way to the top. Okay, and then I will select the map. I will reset to suggested constraints so that it appears nicely. And there are a couple of things that I want to do. First, I will set the delegate. So I'll select the map, hold Control button on my keyboard, click, drag and drop it here, and I will choose delegate. So delegate for the map view is created. Now I'll select the map, and under the attributes inspector I can see the type of the map. I can choose a different type, like I want to see satellite, hybrid, or standard, and I can choose what it allows: zooming, scrolling, rotating, or it can show user location. So I can enable that so that user's current location will be displayed on the map. And this is it. So that should work. But because I have commented out determine current location, I need to bring it up so that our user's current location is determined, and then a pin is a pin annotation is displayed on the map. So I'll stop that and run my code. So creating map view using main storyboard is very simple, and it works right away. So let's have a look. Here's our map. And right, we forgot to do something. One very important moment is that we forgot to create an outlet for the map. So I'll go back to map view. I will hide left panel, right panel, and I will open this view controller, select this view controller, and open it inside of the assistant editor. Now I'll need to create an outlet for my map view. So I will comment out this little piece of code, map view, which was needed when we created it programmatically. Now I'll click on the map view, hold control button on the keyboard, drag, and place it here to create an outlet. And I'll give it the same name, map view, so I don't have to make changes in my source code. And now we have we created a map view outlet. Now let me save it, open up view controller again, close assistant editor, and run this example again. Let's see how it works now. Okay, so it works. We have a map and we have a location on the map. So I can simulate location, and I happen to be in a different location. And if you've noticed, with the first time I started the map, the current location was not actually determined or was not visible. I see the pinpoint, but I don't see this blue location point, but it works only when I do it second time, right? So the reason it does so is because I'm not simulating default location. To fix that, open the select your simulator, go to debug. Sorry, now let's do it this way. I will go to project, edit scheme, and then I will go to options, and we have core location, allow location simulation, but default location is set to none. So if I set my default location New York, US, and close it, now if I run it, it should simulate default location right to New York. Here we go. So we are in New York, and user's current location is displayed. And I can go to Tokyo, and it works very well. And this is it for this example. Now we know how to create a map view and display user's current location and position pin actually with the title that we defined, current location, programmatically, as well as using main storyboard. I hope this example was very helpful, and you guys, if you like to receive free video tutorials weekly, You can subscribe to my blog. You see it has lots of video tutorials on different topics. Just subscribe here, leave your name, email, and as soon as new free video tutorial gets published, you will receive an email notification.